That Feeling by Alex. You sit staring down at the computer on your lap, not having moved in what feels like a million years. A dozen tabs sit at the top, the blue Google Doc icons staring you down. The rest of your room doesn't exist. Your friends, your family, they're far from your mind. Right now, all that exists is you and the laptop. You click on the first of the pinned tabs, where a story with half a page of writing sits. It's a shorter one, at least in the vision of it in your head. You consider just getting done with it right now, or at least making some progress, but you can't muster up the energy. You click on the one next to it instead. Whatever little energy you had before, it's gone now. You feel a pressure against your chest as you stare at a title, subheadings covering the left side of your screen, chapters, over 24 of them, fully written, a proper story. It was, what exactly? A little less than a year's worth of work that you chipped away at each and every day. And yet, you don't feel pride. You, at first, did, but that's past. Now you're just left with this suffocating, all-encompassing feeling whenever it even crosses your mind. You put in all this effort, and you don't even like what you've written. Or maybe that's not exactly true. There's so many parts of it that you love, so many broad strokes you think are something special, but they don't come to your mind often. Little gemstones of adoration hidden under the pile of critiques in your head. That feeling, is it disappointment? No, it's a first draft. You knew that it wouldn't be perfect. You knew you'd have to change a lot, and edit a lot, and go through so many revisions that your head would spin like a globe. That feeling is hard to place. Maybe it's loneliness? No, of course, the story isn't published. You don't exactly have a huge audience, but you don't think it's that. You're sure it isn't that. The solution. You know the solution. Be it the story structure in certain parts, the lack of planning in areas, new ideas or ones you want to remove. No matter what it is, you're at least a bit confident that's the thing about the story that's bugging you. That maybe once you fixed it, those gemstones could come out of the haystack. Maybe then the feeling would go away. You scroll until you find where you want to change, brace your sore wrists against the laptop's edge, and prepare to write. And yet, you freeze as you feel the pressure on your chest once again. You'll do it later. You know Venom, at least from the media you consume? How a character will be bit by a snake, and they'll have some number of hours until it really gets to them. The story feels like venom, lying right beneath your skin, slowly eating away at you. You go out, you stay in, it's still there. Sometimes you don't think about the book for a while, but the venom remains, sucking the energy out of you like some parasite. Whatever distraction you can find, it's still there. You had this vision in your mind, some grand epic, and yet its reality feels more like some messy kid's drawing. But you know how to fix that. So why don't you? Later, you're watching a show, or maybe a movie. Maybe you're playing a video game, or reading a book, or engaging in any piece of media. Either way, the venom is right there alongside you. It soaks it up and holds your story up to it like a mirror, no matter how disconnected they may be, no matter the quality of the thing you're engaging with. You'll find a way to notice how it did something better. Maybe that's not the kind of distraction that'll help. How about a walk? You put one foot in front of another, over and over again. You place the music through your headphones, like you always do. The fresh air, the bright green of the grass, the very act of moving around. It's nice, and for a moment that feeling goes away. The venom sinks away. Your mind wanders, and it finds its way back to the story. And yet, the feeling isn't there, or the venom, and you can take a breath of relief. You imagine it playing out, the broad strokes, and it's everything you could have ever hoped for it to be, compelling and clever and moving. You almost can't wait to get back to your laptop. You sit down, the room vanishes, then the world. You're going to beat that feeling and the venom that comes as its symptom. You don't care if a huge audience is there. You're almost glad there isn't. What you currently have would be an embarrassment. You know you can do better. But you know how to fix it. You rest your sore wrists against the edge of the computer, find the spot in the story, and prepare to write. A line. You edit a single line, and you feel good. You then promptly press the undo button. Your energy vanishes. You're left to stare at the screen until it turns off, your own face reflected in the darkness of the screen. You'll do it later.